Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Joker Out Subs podcast. Today I will be reading an interview with Joker Out for Metropolitan magazine, written by Alma Rahne and originally published on the 8th of September 2022. The band Joker Out revealed to us what can't be missing backstage. You'll be surprised. The boys had the doors of the secret spot where they spend most of their time wide open for us. Among other things, they told us what was the most unusual gift they got from a fan and what they do during the drives to their concerts. Joker Out doesn't need a special introduction, but still. The Ljubljana group of 5, consisting of Bojan Cvjetičanin, vocals and majority songwriter, Jure Maček, drums, Kris Kustin, guitar, Jan Petuch, guitar, and Martin Jurkovic, bass, did not rest during the summer. Instead of chasing the sun's rays, they shut themselves in the studio where they worked tirelessly on the new second album Demoni, which was released recently. There are 10 new songs on it, including 2 in Serbian. The band performed at Exit Festival in Novi Sad in July and made it clear that Slovenia has become too small for them and that there are no limits for good music. This time, we visited the members of the popular band. Drummer Jure Maček was absent due to unpostponable obligations in the rehearsal room, a place that they have equipped in their own way with a little imagination and creativity. Even though the space is small, that's exactly what makes it special, homely. At first glance, it gives the impression of a living room in which many instruments, speakers and cables are displayed. You can immediately feel the special energy and at the same time the wish for a private acoustic concert. I admit I wouldn't have said no to it. Read on to find out everything we spoke about. Interviewer: what are demons to you? Bojan: what all people have in common is that we have our demons and that we're demons for someone. For me personally, demons were songs. The demons were the expectations, waiting, creating. Now I'm starting to face other demons. The 5 of us are each other's demons. Jare, producer, is a demon. Jan is the resident demon exorcist. Jan: Jare is a big demon. Maybe demons are something that comes when you have too many dirty thoughts. Bojan: I just wanted to say, demons are dirty thoughts that you can't get rid of. Martin: the songs we've been making for so long are our demons. Interviewer: on the new album there are 2 songs in Serbian. You don't hide your craving to conquer the Balkans as well. Bojan: our huge desire and inspiration is expanding our musical journey to the Balkans. In fact, in the Balkans, which used to be the mecca of rock and roll, the scene has completely died out. I would dare to say that of the countries within the former Yugoslavia, Slovenia is by far the most favourable for musicians of all genres, except for turbofolk performers. It seems to me that there's one big gap in terms of these live performances, and they also lack young bands and interesting performers. Let's just say that one of our missions would be to expand there and get younger people to listen to guitars, drums again. Slovenia is an area that would be very suitable for them because there are no more venues in the Balkans where unexperienced bands could perform, or there are very few such venues. Whereas here there's a huge amount of them. It would be very nice if some mixing started to happen. They accept us and we accept them. Kris: I'd like to see us establish a sort of precedence that Slovenians are also going to the Balkans in addition to Senida, who has already done so, and that young rock and roll bands can come to Slovenia to somehow re-establish the Yugoslav spirit, especially in music. I want Serbian, Croatian, Bosnian young bands to start going to Slovenia more, because this direction, at least in terms of rock and roll, is not utilised as much. Interviewer: listeners' expectations before the release of each subsequent song are high. Is there any fear present? Bojan: you can't know, but we listened to the album so many times and really enjoyed listening to it so much that we completely lost that feeling of nervousness about what they were going to say out there, because we were really happy with what we did and we didn't care. Kris: we're pretty confident about what we've made and created. Interviewer: how many times do you record a certain song to be able to say it's the final version? Bojan: for example, we recorded the song Katrina only once. Kris: you have pieces that come together right away, and you have some that you have to work on for months. We tried to make the song Param in a much more band-like format than it is on the album now, but in the end we found that it completely takes away the message of the lyrics, and we just let it kind of float with the instrumental. Interviewer: Where did you get the idea to put the song Nie Govoriva Wieczorem, brackets, we don't talk about it anymore, on the album with the abbreviation NGVOT? Chris, when I brought this piece to rehearsals, I already had it written with the name NGVOT. I don't know why, it's already so ingrained in our collective subconscious that it's NGVOT that we've said, let's leave it that way. And that something else interesting happens when you're looking at the track list. But I'm shocked at how many people just read the word and don't think that it could be an acronym, brackets, smile. Bojan, in the playlist for concerts, we always wrote it as NGVOT, just like VDG, Vem de Grish, I Know You're Going. Interviewer, if I'm not mistaken, the arrangement of the song on the album is different than what we've heard at concerts so far. Why? Chris, we had a little bit of a problem with this piece because when I wrote it in 2018, it was still very high school, teenage, and the lyrics stayed the same. The piece has a kind of naive honesty that didn't match this rock banger bass that we've had so far. There was always some kind of dissonance in the piece. What our producer Jara did was to guide us to back up this naivety and sincerity in the piece with some sort of nostalgic bass. We chose a very Beatles 60s vibe for it, and it's very good. Interviewer, on the first album, a lot of the headaches in its creation were caused by the song Vem de Grish. Which one did you struggle with the most this time? Bojan, Novi Val. From some demo, a song was created that we changed to a completely different form at least 5 times. We actually flew from genre to genre, from sound to sound. In the end, one day, Jara pulled the handbrake and told us not to move anywhere. I went to the recording room, a little offended, and Novival happened. Interviewer, many people think of the coronavirus first when they hear the words New Wave. Are there any parallels? Bojan, actually, the trigger for the lyrics were the wildfires in the karst region that were happening at the time we were in the studio. The line, where do we go from here if we're already setting the horizon on fire, is from there, and from there onwards I built the lyrics. Interviewer, we've seen you on several occasions in the company of Magnifico. Have you done anything together? Bojan, no, we've never created together with Magnifico. I don't even dare to think of ever writing anything for him. If I liked the offer, I would accept it, but it seems to me that Magnifico sees us as very independent performers. Magnifico is Magnifico, but he's a very big fan of ours, which he will confirm himself if anyone asks him, so no one will say that I'm lying, brackets, smile. Chris, at the beginning of August, we had 2 concerts, one day after the other in Zagorje and then at the Castle Festival. In Zagorje, we played after Magnifico, and almost all the members of his band, including him, stayed for the whole concert and listened. In the end, they were thrilled. Interviewer, how are the preparations for your first concert in Križanke going? Bojan, we honestly wanted to have a little rest the week before Križanke, in addition to rehearsals, of course, but there's so much work still to be done when it comes to promoting the new album. Chris, luckily, we have a really well-established team that handles a lot of the things for Križanke that we would have to be dealing with otherwise, let's say for the whole stage scene, the sound system, the logistics. We're working with our chief creative director, Mark Pirtz, who also shoots our music videos and who was also involved in the creation of the album cover for the second album. In fact, we already trust him so much, and he understands well what we are, what we want, that he doesn't need to be corrected. He always comes up with good ideas, and then we just give him our blessing. Interviewer, Damir Rakovic Ponorelli will design your outfits for Križanke. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to put on a piece of clothing that you didn't feel comfortable in? Chris, we get on so well with Ponorelli. We have a friendly relationship. He puts something on you, and if it's not cool with you, you tell him, but it's also good that he notices when you're not okay with it. He doesn't want to force you into something that doesn't sit well with you either. Jan, you just tell him, this skirt is a little too tight for me. Brackets, laughs. Interviewer, speaking of skirts, how are you with them? Right now, the trend is for men to wear skirts. Brad Pitt, Harry Styles. Would you wear one? Jan, I don't care about that. If I felt good in the skirt, I'd just wear it. Chris, same. Bojan, but we're not at skirts yet. Brackets, laughs. Jan, we don't really plan on it. Bojan, in general, because skirts have come into this hype, we definitely don't want to go into skirts just for that. Maybe we'll put them on in 5 years when they're already out, because we're kind of Joker out. Brackets, smile. We're happy to have come to the point where the band is bigger than the name. Interviewer, Are you ever afraid of everything that is happening around you? A lot of media attention, recognition on the streets, a lot of female fans. Boyan, it would be absolutely brilliant if we could have this Daft Punk (brackets French music duo with a helmet) moment when no one knows what you look like and you can live on stage to the maximum of what a musician can reap, and off the stage you can live a completely normal life. That would be a dream. But that's impossible for us because we didn't introduce those masks from the beginning, (brackets smile). Interviewer, how do you pass the time while driving to concerts? What do you do in the van? Everyone, scratch. We support Slovenian Paralympians because we scratch cards. Martin, the van is the best thing. Chris, physically it's moderately comfortable, but what's comfortable is that you're in the company of people you spend a lot of time with. Above all, you can sort out those things that you otherwise don't because you never remember. All 5 of us are in a pile, and you can arrange, discuss, sort out everything then. A lot of business decisions are made in the van as well. Interviewer, who has the main say in the group? Are the roles divided? Boyan, it depends entirely on the sector we're talking about. If there's a question about the image on social networks, then Jan is the alpha and omega. Chris, that means if the rest of us don't agree, then it won't happen. We respect each other. Boyan, we operate in such a way that someone in their sector can take full responsibility for things that we know we will all agree on. Fortunately, so far, we've never had any disagreement that someone should actually impose their veto. Jan, but we do hold a vote if there's a more important issue. Interviewer, the strangest thing that was thrown onto the stage? Boyan, last time I got flowers from a guy over the barricade, still in a pot with soil. I think they were cyclamen. Interviewer, you recently surprised us with the announcement of a concert in Stojice on October 6th, 2023. You also promised guests. Can you give us a hint as to who will join you on the biggest stage in Slovenia? Boyan, you know them, (brackets smile). Chris, so we're going to say there will probably be some guests we haven't anticipated at the moment. Our creative paths for Stojice are still very much open. Interviewer, are we going to have to wait a year for a new song? Boyan, you certainly won't have to wait a year for a new single, but we probably won't be doing an album, at least for now. We don't plan to. Chris, now we still have to convince people of this new Demoni album. Martin, I was just thinking that you don't even have to say twice how motivated we're going to be when we're all together, that something might even happen. Chris, by the time of Stojice, the new material will be available for sure, but I don't know in what form yet. Martin, maybe it'll be a cassette tape, (brackets laughs). Interviewer, what should not be missing backstage at your concert? Everyone, table tennis is definitely required. Boyan, we really like it when there's a big enough table backstage because we bought a portable table tennis set so we can play it. Chris, a fridge full of goodies. Martin, a safe, warm place where the band can relax, rest and retreat. Jan, once we added a mirror and 5 towels on the list as a joke. Chris, a shower in the backstage is a very welcome thing, but unfortunately you can't always ask for it, (brackets smile). We will not waste words on the fact that a group of talented young musicians has already left a strong mark on the domestic music scene. The fact is that they have found their circle of fans in both younger and older generations, and they turn their creations into a hit in an instant. Although their growing popularity would make many people, especially those who are envious, attribute superiority, haughtiness to them, the boys remain grounded, confident, and true to themselves and their work. Thanks for listening. You can find the original translation and many more translations on our Tumblr, X, Instagram and Facebook accounts under the name Joker Out Subs.